going on there, everyone? As you can see, we're back trying out the new camera positions. The first ride with camera mounted in its new spot on this Fox V3 helmet. And like I was saying in that install video, if you guys didn't watch it, I have the camera mounted on the top of the visor, inverted, so it's basically shooting upside down, and I have it mounted up there using the Sony clip mount that it comes with. The flat clip mount worked perfect, and so it's on there nice and secure. I also have the microphone, basically a lavalier microphone running through the helmet from the camera, and it's ending up right in front of the face guard. So I bought this helmet, I'd say about 2 months ago when I was in LA, and I gotta say I'm really happy with it. It's, as far as dimensions, the fit is perfect. It's for my big head, it's an XL. However, it's the same fit as my Scorpion EXO Double XL. In fact, when I first bought that Double XL, it was an older model, but I got it brand new in 2011. It was kind of a really snug fit for a Double XL. And so when I compared the two in my other video, you could see how much bigger in just outer dimensions this V3 is compared to the Scorpion EXO. A huge difference. I don't know if it's, I'm pretty sure there's a huge difference in safety factor with that, right? More cushion, I guess, in between my head and the outer shell. This does have the MIP system in it. So overall, I think for safety and everything else, I'm happy. Another thing is, it's lighter. It's actually lighter than the Scorpion helmet. I don't know about how much, but you can feel it by just holding up the two. The Scorpion helmet did me good for around 5 years, give or take, but it was getting to the point where I couldn't keep it clean. It had a lot of just staining and things like that, you know, as far as looks were concerned, it was just looking real raggedy. And then also the white was starting to discolor from the UV. So, you know, I made a choice while I was out there. I was like, man, you know what? I'm finally in a position to be able to try on these helmets. Being here in Guam, we do have a couple shops that do bring in safety gear. However, the choices are limited and the markup is unbelievable. And then again, most of the riders here are smaller, you know, compared to me. So as far as just options are concerned, there was a lot more out there. So yeah, anyway, we're testing out the new mount and the new position. I was really happy with some of the videos that I've watched with people who mounted their GoPros onto the front of their helmet, right in front of the face guard. However, the way this Sony Action Cam is orientated, the way they just built the body, that would be very difficult for me to do unless I just totally rip out mouth guard itself and then just shove it in there, which I was actually thinking about, but this, you know, ended up to be the better solution. Now, again, this is my first time on this, so I don't know how the audio is turning out or whatnot. I did put it in front of my high volume fan to test it, and it seemed like it was doing okay. So this, I would think, would be the same amount of wind coming through this helmet, and so hopefully the audio is coming through 5 out of 5. Now, another thing about this new Fox V3 helmet is the venting. It's far more superior than that Scorpion. Now, I would say this is my third ride using this helmet, and just the airflow running through my head, it's almost like there's a bigger hole in the front than what's really there. And I don't know if it's due to the fact that there's just more vents compared to the Scorpion. The Scorpion seemed at the time to have a lot of venting, which is why I chose that helmet. But in comparison, man, this is a way bigger upgrade in that department. So again, we're still on the KTM400 XCW. Really still just ecstatic about this bike. I came off a DRZ. For those of you who watched any other videos, the DRZ, don't get me wrong, love the bike. However, I had it set up for on and off road, and in that capacity, the DRZ is just, in comparison to this bike, I mean, it's just too damn heavy. That's the only problem with it. As far as reliability, parts availability, R&D, and just cost of ownership, man, really, for my first on and off-road bike, I was super happy. I have no regrets about owning that bike. In some ways, that bike outperformed this bike. However, there was just too many things that I wanted to do to that bike just to make it on par with this bike stock, you know? So when I made the change from the DRZ to this XCW, man, so happy. Now, in some ways, I almost wish that I would have had a 450, but in other respects, man, I'm glad I didn't get it, because this 400 just, I mean, I could be on this bike literally the whole day, and I would not feel any fatigue whatsoever. I mean, even in comparison to the DRZ. The DRZ was just so heavy, and it was very torquey in comparison to this bike. DRZ had way more torque. So I could only imagine being on the 450, how much more I would have to wrestle that thing around. Granted, the bike would be lighter. Just the fatigue that I had with muscling around that DRZ, especially in the dirt, I would come back from rides just spent. This bike, on or off the road, the power band is just so lineal, and it's hard to explain lineal in like a video, but picture that you have enough power for anything, but the power band is like all across the board. There's no, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like turbochargers, or some of you new people to engines or whatever, turbochargers or even like the VTEC motors or a two-stroke. You know, they have a huge power curve at a certain RPM, where this bike, throughout the power curve, it's just the same power. It's not lacking power, it's just the same power. You know, if you could compare it to holding your throttle in at, you know, 1/8 and then cranking it to wide open throttle, that's what a power curve of a two-stroke or a different, you know, motor setup would be. With this KTM 400, it has a shorter stroke in the cylinder. Cylinder goes up and down shorter, so it just never has that chance to really, you know, surprise you. And here we are, good old University of Guam, our destination. Got some things to take care of here, so thanks a lot. Thanks again, sorry for coming along, and we'll shoot again when I'm out of here, and maybe I'll just tie these two videos together, or I'll just post this one by itself. Anyway, sorry for the hiatus, but we're back and doing more. So if you guys want to see anything or hear anything, or, you know, whatever, just give me a shout in the comments. All right, peace out.